It started with a joke. Not a royal decree, not a scandalous expose, just a 30-second zinger on Saturday Night Live. Colin Jost, wearing that signature smirk, tossed out a line about Meghan Markle's past. Before the laughter even faded, the internet was ablaze. But this wasn't your typical late-night jab. This one cracked open a vault Meghan had spent years trying to seal shut. The infamous Yacht girl rumor. And just like that, the past came roaring back. For most people, a blurry decade-old photo is a non-event. But if you're Meghan Markle, one resurfaced yacht pic can threaten to unravel an entire brand. It wasn't grainy enough to dismiss, nor clear enough to confirm, but that didn't matter. What mattered was the timing. The photo, a luxury yacht, champagne flutes, wealthy men, a woman in designer swimwear who looked a lot like pre-royalty Meghan, dropped right after Colin's joke, and suddenly, everyone was a detective. Reddit lit up like a crime scene. TikTok sleuths zoomed in on bracelets, compared earring shapes, even tracked the angle of the sun to pinpoint the location. Was it her? Couldn't be, or could it? No one's producing a court-certified ID, but the implication stuck. Meghan's past wasn't just resurfacing, it came with digital receipts. And this time, no amount of PR polish could make it disappear. She's been called many things before. Too demanding, too dramatic, too American. All vague enough to spin into misunderstood womanhood. But this wasn't a headline, it was a meme, a punchline. And that's far harder to erase. Because once the world starts laughing at you instead of debating you, the game shifts. And rarely in your favor. Here's the twist. Meghan had almost pulled it off. From actress to activist duchess, she rebranded in record time. Just a few years ago, she was blogging about green juice and daily affirmations. Then suddenly, she's on the couch with Oprah, telling the world how she was silenced. The transformation? Impressive. Almost too clean. That's what made it powerful, but also what made it fragile. Because you can only scrub so much of your past before people start asking why it needed scrubbing at all. That's why Colin's joke hit differently. It didn't accuse, it insinuated. It nudged people to pause, to question, to remember. And just like that, the fairy tale of Meghan, the empowered underdog who shattered royal conventions, started to wobble. Was she really plucked from obscurity? Or had she followed a roadmap all along, complete with insider access and carefully chosen allies? Now, insiders whisper that Meghan didn't just bristle at the joke she unraveled. Frantic calls, media strategists, urgent efforts to redirect the narrative. But it was too late. The story had already mutated. It wasn't about one old photo anymore. It was about everything that photo meant. Because maybe Meghan's real talent wasn't acting, it was curating. Building a persona so polished, so tightly managed, that people stopped asking where it began. But perfection in public image is a delicate thing. All it takes is one crack, one joke, one photo, and the whole construct starts to shake. In Colin's line? It wasn't a hammer. It was a chisel, subtle, sharp, surgical, the kind of thing that doesn't shatter statues with a bang but with a whisper. Somewhere between the memes and media frenzy, people began recalling things they were supposed to forget. Not just yacht photos, but timelines that didn't quite add up. Vanished friendships, contradictory interviews. Suddenly, Meghan's origin story, the rise from cable actress to crown contender, was being dissected frame by frame, like a cold case on Netflix. The joke may have lit the match, but the internet brought the gasoline. Photos started surfacing from obscure blogs and forgotten forums. Pictures that felt quietly erased from history. Women in swimsuits, men in suits, glittering decks. Ultra-private parties with no guest lists. Until now, people were finding them. Cross-referencing timestamps, matching jewelry. One thread even. Alleged Meghan once attended the same event as Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein years before she met Harry. There's no proof. Of course, no smoking gun, but that didn't matter. The story had momentum now, and worse, it had context.
This
time, people weren't just chasing gossip. They were chasing patterns. Meghan wasn't being criticized for partying on a yacht. She was being scrutinized for pretending it never happened, scrubbing her past so thoroughly, so aggressively that the erasure itself raised red flags. And the silence? That's what really got people talking. Meghan's always known how to push. Back when she feels cornered, lawsuits, press statements, subtle Instagram captions wrapped in self-help affirmations, she claps back. That's her brand. But this time, nothing, not a word. Not even a casual paparazzi stroll with a cryptic quote on a sweatshirt. Just silence, and silence doesn't read like composure. It reads like panic. Or worse guilt. Meanwhile, Colin Jost moved on like it was any other week. No apology. No clarification. No drama. He didn't have to say more, the joke had already done its job.
He wasn't the story, she was.
And hour by hour, the spotlight grew. More headlines, more commentary. More YouTubers dissecting body language. More TikTok sleuths comparing shadows. And jewelry and angles. But the real threat wasn't the internet chatter. It was what was happening behind the scenes. Hollywood started paying attention, not just fans or critics, but brand managers, booking agents, event coordinators. The kind of people who smile in your face while quietly taking your name off the list. Meghan had always walked a fine line between celebrity and royalty, drawing power from both. But now she was becoming something worse than polarizing. She was becoming unpredictable. And in Hollywood, unpredictable isn't intriguing, it's unmarketable. One insider even claimed she was quietly dropped from a major speaking engagement. Not because of what was proven, because of what might still come out. That's the thing about reputation. It's not built on truth, it's built on risk. And when your entire brand is about empowerment and authenticity, even a whiff of inauthenticity can collapse the whole foundation. Suddenly, Meghan wasn't the brave reformer who challenged an outdated monarchy. She was a former lifestyle blogger with a suspiciously curated past, and a vanishing act for every inconvenient detail. And that's a hard story to spin. No matter how polished your Instagram grid is, executives don't care about your journey. When your name starts trending for the wrong reasons. And Meghan Markle's name? Lately, it hasn't been trending for elegance or activism. It's been trending for suspicion. The glossy cover girl sheen is starting to crack, and what's showing underneath isn't flattering. She built her